Hey guys, it's Chris here, and today we're going to be reviewing the Dell Inspiron i7359 laptop. So let's get into it. So the laptop is really light at 3.4 pounds, and it's 1.7 centimeters thick, pretty thin. It has about 33 centimeters this way, and 22.2 centimeters this way. Looking at the front, there's not much to look at. This has very little LED indicators for hard drive or caps lock. The caps lock is on the keyboard, but all you have is on the left side with a battery indicator, just telling you if the battery is on, charging, or if the laptop's on or off. So right now the laptop's off. If we look at the right side of the laptop, it has your speaker. Now the speakers are really interesting here. They're both on the right and left side, and they protrude the sound going this way, which is kind of weird. It's much better to have this on a flat surface where the sound is bouncing off from the table. So you also have your 3.5mm jack. This works for both your headphones and your microphone. It's a 2-in-1. You have two 3.0 USB ports. This one is constantly on. So right now the laptop is off. If you plug in your phone through here, you can actually get power and charge your phone even when the laptop's off. You have your full HDMI port to connect to any monitor, and you also have your power port for plugging it in and charging the laptop, and lastly your Kingston lock. If you go to the back, you have two hinges. Now what makes these two hinges interesting is that this is a 2-in-1. What that means is this laptop can fold over all the way back into a tablet mode. You can see right here. So that's how the hinges work. If you close it back up again, you have your ventilation. Now this ventilation is the only ventilation on this laptop, and it actually stays pretty quiet. When it does get hot, it gets hot around this area, the left side of the keyboard. Fortunately, the keyboard doesn't get hot, but the bottom part does get hot. Moving on to the left side of the laptop, you have your stylus. Now this is a passive stylus. So what that means is it doesn't detect if there's a stylus on it. It really is just a regular stylus. You pop it out like so, it has your Dell logo on that side and nothing on the other side. And it goes in both ways. So, like that, as well as the other way, upside down. Now this is really cool. It actually has a really nice spring in it. I'll show you here. It's pretty good. So let's put that back in. And you also have your SD card reader. Now this only reads SD cards and multimedia cards, which are the same size, and you have a USB 2.0 for using the laptop. Unfortunately, it's not 3.0, so you have two 3.0s and one 2.0. Here's your other right speaker, and this is your volume and power button. Now they work fine, and the reason why they're on the side again is because this is a tablet, so when you fold it over, you can use it like so, just having the buttons right there. Now, it's not the best ideal way to put a button on the side of the laptop because it might get pressed, but of course when the laptop is closed like this, you press the button, nothing will happen. So the front is pretty standard. You just have your Dell logo. This is a plastic build. It has a metallic finish on it. It feels very smooth. You don't feel any of the rough metallicness, but it does look metallic. On the back again, you have your ventilation. Very easy to get to. I actually like it, so when it's on your lap, the ventilation goes out this way. And when you turn it like this, on tablet mode, it can be annoying, but there's very little air coming through it. Because of the 6th generation Skylake processor, it's supposed to work really efficiently, and then when the heat dissipates, it goes to the back of the laptop panel and not really through this ventilation. You have your 4 feet right here for situating the laptop just so it doesn't move around, and they work very good. It elevates the laptop just a little just so that the air can flow out, which is not that bad. Again, just the lightness of this laptop is really good. 3.4 pounds. Compared to the MacBook Pro 13-inch I have right here, this is heavier than the Dell laptop. However, the MacBook Pro 13-inch is a little bit smaller. It's less wide than the Dell Inspiron. But that's on another note. Let's keep moving on with this laptop. So again, the top is really normal, and what's really interesting about this is you have two magnets on the top right here that keep the laptop enclosed. So it's magnetically closed, and when you flip it over to the back, the tablet does sort of connect to the magnet, but it's not strong enough to where it actually works. So if we flip it back over, we can see we have the keyboard and mouse and trackpad. So the first thing you notice when you open this laptop is how big the bezels are. We'll get to that later when I turn on the monitor, but it's pretty thick. Moving on, you can see that you have the mouse trackpad, and the mouse trackpad compared to laptops that have a glass trackpad, this is not glass, it does feel a little bit ashy. It's a good size with 6.7 meters from top to bottom and 10.5 I believe from left to right. The left and right click work fine, and of course when you get to the top area it's hard to click down. So if you're used to the MacBook Pro with the Force Touch where you can click anywhere, I was kind of used to that, and it was really and Force Touch is really nice to have, just to be able to click anywhere on the mouse pad and have the same feedback. When you get to the top, it's a little bit harder to press. When you get to the bottom, it's easier to press. So let's look at this in tablet mode. As you can see, right now it's on laptop mode, but these hinges are very sturdy. For some particular reason, they're very, they don't seem to be loosening up very easily. And they've been working very good. As a tablet, it is a bit heavy, but it's not that heavy if this is your first time using a tablet. This is, again, 3.4 pounds, and the tablet works very well. You do have the keyboard, and if you're worried about the keyboard getting hurt, there is a small lip to it. And this lip will just kind of prevent it from the keyboard touching any flat surfaces. So if you're on a bumpy surface, the keyboard will get fucked up. Let me show you right here. You can see that there is a lip on that keyboard, on the edges of the keyboard, just to make sure that the keyboard doesn't touch the surface the tablet mode is on. So let's turn this laptop on and see what the startup time is. Let's press it right now. What am I doing? So you can see the keyboard is backlit. There's two different sections for it. There's the So right from the start, you open the laptop, you can see that the bezels are really big. If I turn the brightness here. Now this is a 13-inch screen. Now all 13 inches means is from the left to right diagonal is 13 inches. But screen sizes can be different. I found that this screen size was wider than most screens, but less vertical than most screens. So the top, right, and left bezels are about 1.5 centimeters, a bit thick. And the bottom is even thicker at 2.5 centimeters. This is the bottom right here. So we flip this over, you can see that it has the keyboard is a nice backlit, and you have three different options. You have on, brighter, and off. I personally use the on. I don't need to get to the super bright, but it's nice to have, especially at night when you're using this. So on the top is really interesting. You have your 720p webcam right there. On the right of it, you have a ambient light sensor, and what this is for brightness control. And on the physical side, at the top of the lid, there's actually two holes, one here and one here. And what these are microphones for the laptop. It's really cool. Let's see if I can locate this. They are right there. Now the keyboard is pretty standard. Going from a Black Widow Razer keyboard to this keyboard, the size is about the same. My fingers don't have to move that much. And you have your multimedia buttons on the top here that are pre-programmed for, say, brightness control, play, pause, as well as your keyboard control function. Pressing on the keyboard, it does register your clicks, but sometimes if you press, say, on the side of the key, like pressing like that, it won't register. So I have it set for when I press control, it should show have a blink of my cursor. But if I press control here, you can see my cursor does blink. But if I do press it on the right or left side on the tip, it sometimes doesn't work. And that's because it's a dome key. What that means is it's a dome, and then you have to press all the way down on the dome before getting the registration. So what I found was with my pinky finger, I don't necessarily cover the whole key just to press it. I may just click the side just to try and get the key to register, but it doesn't because it's a dome. The screen clarity is really nice. It's 1920 by 1080. Watching videos on this is nice. The pre-built Windows backgrounds look great. If I change the background right here, let's do that. Oh, another thing, if you're doing multitasking on your mouse pad, they work very well. So I have a 3-finger tap for Cortana. If I press 3 fingers, Cortana will pop up. What's up, Cortana? How you doing? So using it in tablet mode is really simple. You just fold it over, and the keyboard becomes disabled. You can't use anything else.
Try again in a little bit.
Okay, Cortana. I don't need to know that. And that's the tablet mode. So that's it with the physical features. Let's move on to the internals and what's inside this laptop that makes it perform. So a quick rundown of specs. This thing has a Intel Core i7 6th generation processor. It's the 6500U, and what that means is it's an ultra power low saving mode processor, and because it's a Skylake processor, the new Skylakes are supposed to be more battery efficient. What that means is it tries to use only the stuff that it really needs to operate, using less battery and not keeping other processes running. It has 8 gigs of RAM at 1600 megahertz. That's the speed of the RAM, and it has a 2.5-inch SSD, and it's at 256 gigs. So you can upgrade to a larger capacity if you need to. I think I'm going to go to the 1 terabyte when those SSDs go lower in price. Aside from that, that's what the laptop is. It has a really nice processor, good amount of RAM at 8 gigs, and a decent amount of SSD storage. The reason I didn't go with the XPS 13 is because it uses the small stick SSDs, the M.2, and those are just so expensive just to upgrade a little amount of hard drive space for a lot of money. And with the 2.5-inch, I like that better. It's a little cheaper, and that's what you have in this laptop. This is the power brick. Now, this is good and bad. The power brick is really tiny, but that's because the battery is tiny. It's a 3-cell battery. Who's ever heard of a 3-cell battery in a 14-inch laptop? The standard is a 4-cell battery. So that's the biggest gripe I have with this laptop, is it's a 3-cell battery, it doesn't get as much power. But the power brick is really small, and the length of the whole power set is not that big, it's not that long, but it's an average size. It's an average length. I'll put it in the description or somewhere here of just how long this power supply is with all the cables, just so you know how far you can reach with your laptop and a power supply at the power outlet. So that's the power brick. Really tiny. I was so surprised about this. And it just has one LED indicator for green where power is going through or not. Lastly, it also comes with a built-in Velcro strap to keep things organized. Overall, I give this product, the laptop, Dell Inspiron i7359, 13-inch laptop, 2-in-1 tablet and laptop, 8 out of 10. I took off 2 points just for the fact that it has 3-cell battery. That's what bugged me the most. Why did you not put a 4-cell battery in here just to get more battery power? Throughout my usage, I think I've gotten around 6 to 7 hours of battery usage on regular daily usage. But if I'm editing or doing some high intense work on it, I get around 5 hours. The battery charges an alright speed. I would have liked it charged faster, but that's going to have to be what this laptop is about. Thank you guys for watching. Again, I give this product an 8 out of 10. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, let me know why in the comments below. If you have any questions or concerns pertaining to this laptop, I'll be happy to answer them. Well, that does it with this full review. If you liked the video, again, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Please subscribe for future content. Bye, guys. Did I go over everything?